Thank you, Jamie. So, while some kids across the country are still enjoying their Easter, one gang of parents are heading back to school for the class of Mum and Dad, which starts tonight at 8 p.m. on Channel 4. Now, these senior students will study the Year 6 curriculum alongside their own children. Here to tell us more is the superstar head teacher of Blackrod Primary School, Mr. Drybrugh. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Fern.
Should I say good morning, Mr. Drybrugh?
Yeah, good morning, Fern. Nice to speak to you.
Lovely to speak to you. Now, I've been lucky enough to see the first episode of this, which was hilariously funny and very emotional as well. How did this experiment come about?
Oh, we were approached. I actually received a phone call just out of the blue, just before Christmas, and the Firecracker said, we're having a short list of schools who are interested in this concept. Would you be up for it? So we thought nothing more about it, said yes, we would be. Get back to us if you're interested. And here we are, several months later on Channel 4. So a big journey in a short time.
Exactly, and then the big premiere tonight, which is so exciting. There's a wonderful moment in tonight's episode in an assembly that you're taking where you reveal the new class, which are, of course, the parents of the kids to the unsuspecting pupils. How did that go down?
Well, the fact that we managed to keep it a secret for so long was amazing, but all the parents were quite blasé when they arrived, but when they actually came to the big moments, they got to the point they got stage fright, and they were almost sort of whispering amongst themselves, oh, can you be first, can you be first? And I had all the children in the hall, totally unsuspecting. Said we were having this new class arriving, opened the door, and we were expecting a sort of hubbub of noise, but there was absolute silence, so you could have heard a pin drop, because they were so stunned. Then gradually the noise just rose and rose and rose, and so we had this tumult of noise and children pointing and laughing and embarrassed children looking at their own parents, like that granddad dancing movement, it's...
Brilliant. And even within the first 10 minutes of watching the show, there are tears, there are tantrums, there's rebellion, and that is solely from the parents. It was a real sort of shock to them to be sort of immersed back into that environment and to have to do the curriculum that the Year 6 students were doing.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we did it for, was because everyone's got a view of primary education because they once went. But now when you actually experience it properly, you realise that, hold on a minute, it's not quite as easy as I thought it was. And as you say, within the first 5 minutes, faced with a maths question, one of the participants, she was whizzed back 40 years for when she had all the struggles in school. And there were the tears, and that took us by surprise. And Kath Mead, the teacher, dealt with it absolutely brilliantly, as you saw in the programme.
Oh, it was such a lovely moment, because I would have been exactly the same. She just felt like, why can't I do this? I should be able to. But
absolutely.
Of course, we haven't done sort of basic arithmetic if you haven't been at school for years and years. So it is such a tricky matter to take head on. And as you say, the teacher of the class was she kept going, don't be daft, don't be daft. She was so loving and wonderful in it. And the parents were obviously told off quite regularly as well. Was that sort of difficult for you teachers to actually sort of stand and tell off another adult as if they were a pupil?
Well, I've been a natural for 40 years, so there we go. No, but I think some of the people came in, they thought it was going to be a bit of a josh, a bit of a joke. So when they actually said, well, if we're doing this, we're doing it properly. Yeah. So if the children managed to follow rules and things, for example, the fire drill where they were missing, and the children that were learning lessons, we do this properly. So when the parents didn't, they got the mother and father were rollicking because it was serious. Yeah. And they got that lesson early doors, and I think they actually learned from it, and they appreciated, the standards we have in school, and appreciated it even more. But some of the things were hilarious. I mean, they pushing the boundaries of the uniform.
Yeah, the jewellery wearing, outrageous.
And mobile phones, that was the one.
Mobile phones.
I need my phone, Mr. Drybrugh. I said, no, you don't need your phone, Mr. Drybrugh. You want your phone. It's a different thing.
Exactly. I love that. And what for you was the most surprising thing about it? What did you guys learn as professionals and as teachers in that environment?
Well, how quickly they actually developed as a unit within the school. But they weren't pretending. They actually rapidly and incredibly rapidly became an integral part of school. They were accepted totally by the rest of the children. They worked incredibly well as a team. They had fallings out. They had getting together. So it was a real experience for them. It wasn't a pretend experience, and I think that's the magic thing that comes through watching the programme. it was real. It wasn't pretend. And they learned so much from doing it.
And what's been so brilliant, I just found this out this morning, that it's been such a confidence boost for some of the parent pupils, and they've actually gone on to change job, and they've sort of gone on to new ventures in life. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, this was amazing to us as well, because we didn't see this as an offshoot. You know, we got a couple of the people who, when they were talking to their classmates in the series, realised that a lot of people were feeling more fulfilled and happier than they were. Because the relationships, you're with somebody for 6-7 hours a day over a protracted period of time, you get to know them really well.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're getting, hold on, this person's happier than I am, they're more fulfilled than I am. And a couple of people actually took that as a signal to move on in their lives. And, you know, one went in from being an NHS worker to going to selling tractors.
Wow.
But, because that's what she'd always loved, an agricultural background. She'd always wanted to do differently. Another lad was a bit of a class rebel, but he was a painter and decorator, hated it, and then now got his own firm doing pub and refurbishment and things, and he's loving it. So, I
mean, what a bonus. I'm sure you guys could never have imagined such a thing. It's just such a brilliant thing to come out of it all. So
absolutely
wonderful.
Amazing. And the whole experience, I mean, was fantastic. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
It's all right, but, you know, Kath Mead, the teacher in this, was totally amazing. She's the real star of the programme. You've seen one episode.
She was great.
And she's a total credit to the profession. And it's a privilege working with people like that. And I just wanted to say that on the radio, because she's a total credit to the profession in herself, and she was amazing throughout the series.
That is so lovely. Mr. Drybrugh, will you and the other teachers be gathering round to watch this premiere on the TV tonight?
Yes, we will, and fingers crossed that people like it, because we gained so much from it, and the adults who took part in it, no matter, they've all come to me and said how much they learned from it. And the experience on the last final assembly, the tears were genuine.
Well, look, everyone's going to absolutely love it tonight. Blackwood Primary School are going to be on Channel 4 this evening at 8 p.m. Mr. Drybrugh, thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you, Fern.